We work very closely with the online brokerage community, right, to educate the retail layer. So we do large-scale events, educating them on the use of options. For the longest time, for the last 20 years, Japan was in a deflationary environment. So inflation was not really an issue, but now people are more concerned about their savings and they're getting more proactively into managing their money. This is one tool for them, of course, to be exposed to the markets.
How have single stock options been doing at JPX?
Single stock options, of course, on the back of the NISA, the Nippon individual savings account developments in Japan, where the government had an initiative to bring more people from the savings accounts to the stock market, right? So that is a big story, from savings to investments. That's been ongoing, and at current we have around 31 million new accounts in Japan just for NISA. So there's still way to go because we have 120 million people in Japan. But so you see there's many newcomers to the stock market, and for them, of course, to lock in the high levels of the valuations of the stocks, we try to promote a bit of cross-selling with our sister company, the TSE. The idea of doing covered calls and also generate yield on the go while people are having these new portfolios. And then, of course, on top of it, also the other driver in that space is not only retail, is also the institutional side of things. Because for the longest time, unfortunately, the size of the Japanese capital market is so large, but there was no functioning single stock options market to the market makers that we engage and that participate in that space. There's visibility on screen, and that led to many more institutional participants coming into the market and engaging on a daily basis.
What is happening with the fixed income market?
This is very exciting for us, for them to finally move into a rate hike cycle. For the longest time, as everybody knows, Japan was in a zero or negative environment territory, right, in terms of interest rates. So things have slowly normalized, right? We now have a 0.5%. And the anticipation is there for more hikes to come. So yeah, this is one of the core products for us this year. Of course, the short-term interest rate futures that we listed as toner. Every day around 10,000, 12,000 toner contracts are being traded. Open interest is growing. And slowly but surely, we also see the domestic banks starting to engage. So for the longest time, in the absence of interest rates, the desks cut down, and there's not many traders that actually know how to trade these things these days in the banks. So they've been staffing over the last 18 months, and slowly we see them coming in, as well as internationally, some relative value funds are coming in to start trading. So slowly open interest is building up. And once we see more rate hikes, this will be something that is to watch for sure in terms of volumes. For the other interest rate space, of course, for the longer traded stuff, right, the JGBs, we have a market maker engaged in the 20-year JGBs that's quotes during the Japanese day, and also there we see more and more interest materializing on screen.
What's driving the growth of the power market?
So the Japanese power market is actually, in terms of consumption, the largest deregulated power market in the world. Of course, it's a new asset class for us in a sense, so we're trying to kind of compress time and bring everybody to the market. Our trades under TOCOM. TOCOM is one of the markets that are run by JPX, is part of the JPX family. We are bringing more brokerage, so FCMs to the market, to actually plug in the global interest. That's been very strong. Actually, we do an event every year in Japan called the Power Week, together with the EX, our European competitor. They also list power, and every year the participant amount is growing. So last October we had around 700 people there, and it's a very strong across the board, both domestically and internationally. It's a hot commodity for traders. Also in the commodity side, in the generator side as well in Japan, and the resellers. So the resellers, we have already 189 participants open accounts with TOCOM. We managed to get the first bank to also become a member of TOCOM, which is Mitsubishi Bank. And that has really helped to engage the domestic larger utilities to come and hedge more actively in the market. So volumes are growing nicely. I think they quadrupled over the last 6 months.
What is your new FX crypto initiative?
One of the new initiatives for us next year, we're going to launch April 2026. We will launch 3 currency pairs: USD JPY, Euro JPY, and CNH JPY. And this is on the back of very strong client demand. We have seen over the years always a demand for FX futures. Many of the Asia domiciled participants that trade our equity index contracts very actively, like the Nikkei and TOPIX, and they have some sort of exposure to the yen, to the JPY. And at current, they're using other venues globally to participate in that market. There was a strong demand for the specs that we created, and we do think that from day one we'll have some sort of genuine liquidity, original liquidity in our market for FX. This is one of the asset classes that it also, in light of our very actively traded gold market on token, where we see an increase of foreign players as well.
What does a new prime minister mean for the economy and fixed income markets?
Sanae Takaichi, right? She's the first woman to actually become the prime minister of Japan, so it's a first in many different ways. She has been perceived as very pro-business. It's also a bit carrying the legacy of Mr. Abe, right? We all remember Abenomics. He was kind of her mentor in a way. People for now believe that she will be very much business friendly. Of course, probably create higher deficits to spend more and to make the necessary investments in Japan. So in that sense, yeah, we will have to see what sort of effect this will have on the fixed income markets. Being equal, it's very positive for Japan, especially what we see also with international investors in the way the lens that they look through looking at Japan is a bit more bright these days than it was like before she got elected.